Good morning. How are you? I hope you're well. Well, today we're expecting the EU's chemical strategy to be published. And if there's one thing that I think we can all expect, it's that things are going to get tighter. There seems to be this, and there always has been, this sense in the EU that chemicals are somehow a bad thing and that we should control them and try and get rid of them where at all possible because they're dangerous. Totally forgetting, of course, that we are all made of chemicals and that there are plenty of very nasty natural chemicals out there. Anyway, they do this in several ways. It's not just directly through chemical regulation, it's also through environmental standards. And yesterday I picked up on water pollution and containment news, which is a sort of must read in the UK. It's an e-zine and very good one monthly. That there was this big story in the Guardian about river quality has declined in England terribly. And when you read into it, actually, what's happened is the standards have changed. So the standards have tightened on water quality, meaning that a whole load of rivers that were meeting the chemical standards are now no longer meeting those chemical standards. And of course, being the EA, it is likely that they just reported that rather than the underlying data. I simply don't have the time or energy to go through the figures and see what has happened to the actual standards, to the numbers behind it. But I would hope that an allegedly respectable newspaper like The Guardian would actually investigate it rather than just parroting this blindly. To be fair to them, they do say, and I will actually quote, in 2016, 97% of rivers were judged to have good chemical status, though the standard of tests used this time was tougher. Exactly. Why are they not going back to the raw data? Why are they not saying apparent change? What's behind it? Because the answer is probably going to be mostly from the actual change in the rules. So with this new chemical strategy coming out of the EU, I think we can expect more of the same. We can expect a tightening of everything and a denial of allowing access to the underlying data to support this. It's what we've come to expect. You may call me cynical. I have been around for a long time. I have seen this before. Uh, we saw it with nitrates in drinking water. It went from 100 ppm to 50 ppm overnight, did the World Health Organization standard. Now, in the UK at the time, when I was doing soil science at Newcastle, the last time there had, and the reason for this was we have to protect the blue babies. Okay, as my lecturer said, the last time in 1990 there had been a blue baby in the UK was, wait for it, 1976. How do you deal with blue babies? You give them bottled water from a low nitrate source until they're old enough and they sort of grow out of the condition or whatever it is. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a biologist, but there is a very cheap and easy way around it. Instead, we have had billions, genuinely billions of investment in the water industry and sewage treatment plants. Denitrification, it's like a holy grail, even though nitrates, at least some of the time, are from natural sources. So and at the time, the only reason that anybody could think of why the World Health Organization had done 50 ppm instead of 100 ppm, there was no evidence to say that 50 ppm was any more protective than 100 ppm was simply because it was half and because they were now able to measure 50 ppm. So standards change over time, and they change as things are able to be monitored more, regardless of whether or not harm is being caused. And surely it should be about the harm that is caused, not about whether or not we can measure something and whether we're worried about it and we're scared, we're chicken. And we see in the UK what happens when people get focused on one particular disease and get so worried about it, they forget about all the other stuff out there. Anyway, interesting times, as they do say. Right, to cheer us all up, yes, Minister, today's clip is the need to know. Partly because sometimes I think, as poor sods in the chemical industry, we are the last to know about things that are going to make our lives even more difficult, even though we're the people who are feeding the world, making water clean, providing medicine, and giving people access to all the technology that enables modern life to exist. Whatever you're doing, have a great day at work. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.